Hello everyone, my name is Mulutra Enoch and we're going to revise partial fraction MA110 part 2, that is repeated linear factor, and the question reads, resolve the following into partial fraction. So what you're going to do is that you have to rewrite the way it is. So you're going to rewrite that is x minus 18 over x minus 3 square is equals to open brackets. So bear in mind to say that this one is having power 1, meaning it is a linear factor. So we're going to write a over x plus, so whenever there is a square outside, it means that is a repeated factor. So we are going to write b over the expression itself over the expression itself, that is x minus 3 plus c over the one that you have been given, this part containing the square, that is x minus 3 square. And then from there, what you are going to do, step 2, is that get that denominator, multiply with everything. So you're going to rewrite that is x minus 3 the power that multiplied by what, everything there, that is x minus 18 over x minus 3 square there is equals to a over x plus b over x minus 3 plus c over x minus 3 close bracket u square, and then you start multiplying. So when you multiply this denominator with the same denominator, you find out to say this one will cancel with that one, and you're going to remain with x minus 18 is equals to this same denominator multiplied by what, x. So that x will cancel with that. You're going to remain with a multiplied with x minus 3 square there plus, so this thing is going to be multiplied with that thing. You find to say that this one will cancel with that 2 there. So you are going to multiply b with x open brackets x minus 3 close bracket, like that. So plus this x minus 3 square is going to cancel with that one, we are going to multiply c with x. So from there we are going to let this one x minus 3 is equals to what, 0, and then so for what, x is equals to positive 3. So what you are going to do is that this 3 that you have calculated, replace it everywhere where there is x. So that is 3 minus 18 is equals to a open bracket, that is 3 minus 3 square plus b, that is 3 minus what, 3 close bracket plus what, 3, that is times 3. So we're going to find out to say when you subtract 3 minus 18, we're going to obtain, so we're going to obtain negative 15 is equals to, so there when you subtract, it's a multiplied by what, 0 square there plus, so that is b, that is 3. When you subtract, that is 0 plus what, 3c. So negative 15 is equals to, so there 0 to power 2, that is 0, 0 times a is 0, so meaning this one has gone. Also, that is 3 times 0 is 0, 0 times b, that is 0, so it means that you're going to remain with what, 3c. So you divide both sides by what, 3, also this side by what, 3. So we are going to get c is equals to negative 5. So that is the value of c. So from there, what you're going to do, that you're also going to let that x, so let x is equals to 0. So it means that you're going to replace 0 everywhere where there is x, that is 0 minus 18 is equals to a, that is 0 minus 3 square plus, that is b, 0, that is 0 minus 3 plus what, c, 0. So from there, what you're going to get, you're going to obtain negative 18 is equals to what, so that is 9. So a multiplied by what, that is 9, and then there, that is 0 minus 3, that is negative 3, negative 3 times 0, that is 0. So it means that this value of b has 1, so c times 0 is 0. So what you're going to do, you're going to divide both sides by 9 over 9. So it means that the value of a, c, negative 2. So from there, what you're going to do to find the value of b, you're going to simplify this part. So when you simplify, that is a times x square, a x square ax square, and then there, that is x times x, that is plus b x square, which should be equated to the what is there. So one thing that you should bear in mind is that it's going to be 0x square, because if you look clearly there, you're having x minus 18, but the normal quadratic formula should be ax square plus bx plus what, constant, is equals to 0. But looking at this equation that you have been given there, we don't have the value of what, x square, so it means that you're going to equate it to what, to 0. So from there, you're going to factorize, that is what is common there, that is x square a plus b is equals to what, 0 x square. So that one goes. So there you have calculated the value of what, of a to b, negative 2 plus b is equals to 0. So when you get that negative 2, crossing it to the other side, it's going to be positive 2. That simply means the value of b is positive 2. Now from there, what you're going to do is that you're going to replace it, those values that you have calculated for a, b and c, you're going to replace them in that equation that you have formed, that is x minus 18 over x, open bracket, x minus 3 square is equals to the value of a, that is negative 2. So that is negative 2 over x, and then the value of b, we have calculated it to be what? Positive 2. So we're going to write plus what? Plus 2 over x minus 3, and then the value of c, that is negative 5. So it means that that negative is going to be multiplied with that positive. Whenever you multiply negative times what? Positive, you are going to get negative. So it's negative 5 over what? X minus 3 square. So it means that this is the final answer. So please don't forget to like this video, also subscribe, so that whenever I post the new video you are able to see and watch. See you in the next video.